Feels like about 6 o'clock.
I know, it really does. The time is 5 to 1.
5 to 1. We're packing so much stuff in today. Typically, of course, by this stage during the day, I would have been using this, my mobile phone, for I don't know about you, but at least an hour. I've been talking to all sorts of people. They are part and parcel of our life, but they are a consumer product that comes with a cost. I'm very pleased that Adam Goswell has come along to talk to us now about our mobile phones. We take them for granted, Adam.
We do.
But there is an impact that these things are having.
There's a huge hidden impact, yes.
Yeah, so go on, then start us at the beginning, which has to be in terms of the materials that make
it does, yeah. So we're talking about ingredients at the summit when it comes to cosmetics, but really these phones and other devices are full of ingredients too. So we're using the phone as an example, but obviously this applies to lots of it, all electronics really. So within a phone there's typically hundreds of components. Those components are made of hundreds of different metals and plastics. So we've taken the sort of 15 top component metals, gold, tin, cobalt, things like that, and looked at the sourcing story of it and some of the implications of that story. So cobalt being one of the most famous of those, and that goes in the battery of all devices, and that is often mined in a way using children, in conflict areas, using poorly paid workers. So what we're trying to do is just shine a light on, if you buy a phone, you're actually, the implications of that device you're bringing into the world is quite far-reaching.
Is there any way then, when we make a choice about which phone we buy, at this point in time, where we can choose one where we can be assured that there's less exploitation, less environmental damage?
Absolutely. So I think no one's got this absolutely perfect yet, and I think all the big tech giants are making strides towards it. Some are doing better than others. I'm not going to say who's not doing it, it's not for us to say. But there are initiatives like Fairphone out there, which are an Amsterdam-based startup, that has decided to do a phone that is fair, and that is fair from the people mining the minerals to the factory where it's made and to the way it's disposed of.
Fairphone, where do we get ourselves a Fairphone? Because we're all drawn to the big, producers.
Everyone's got an iPhone or an Android or a Windows
Samsung
phone.
Or whatever happens to be.
But there is an alternative, and they are quite affordable. And you are buying a phone which you have peace of mind that it's made in a way that you would consider fair and equal for the world.
And are you buying good tech if you do that? Because obviously people want these phones with the big names because they know they work.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I think really, there's slaves putting this stuff out the ground, there's slaves making it in factories, and we as consumers are slaves to this marketing cycle that we're locked into. So we're kind of sucked into buying these things every year, every 18 months, every time it breaks. I think we should look at the ways we should stop buying them, think about buying them, perhaps start to look at recycling, reusing, extending the life of our devices.
And that's an interesting question in itself, because there are millions and millions of phone users out there. Where do mobile phones go to die?
Exactly, yeah. So often, people typically put it in the drawer and it's left, but if you do throw it in a bin, the chances are it's not going to be dismantled and put away with in a correct manner. So we are seeing examples, and we've got examples on our stand of places in Africa and India and China where it's going to a place where it's just being left on the ground. And then people in the local area are harvesting the metals out of that, often by burning or other methods to get the precious gold or whatever it might be and selling it on. So we're not disposing it in the correct way, and we're not mindful of where it's actually going. You put it in the bin, but where does that bin go?
But isn't this part and parcel of this horrible lifestyle that we've evolved, whereby we don't repair things, we replace them?
Completely.
And the word that I really hate is upgrade.
Yes.
So you've got one phone and they bring another one out. It's minor differences, perhaps cosmetic, a few more pixels in the camera. But there's this unnatural urge to say, "Oh, I must have the new one. I must have the new one," despite the fact you've got a functional tool already in your hand.
That's it. We're stuck in. We're victim to this marketing life cycle that Apple and other components drive on us, and we're all in that cycle of buying new. We don't have to do that. So Fairphone have done great things in terms of, if the new camera comes out, you can replace just the camera. So
in the phone?
Yes, so you buy the phone once and you upgrade the components within it, and perhaps that phone will last you a lifetime. In theory, yeah. So
I didn't know you could do that.
No, that's one of the initiatives they put in. It's a modular, repairable, reusable phone.
It's fantastic.
It is, it's great.
But why haven't I heard of it?
I know, this is the problem, right? So we're trying to shed light on Fairphone. There's other examples of these people doing these things, but they're just not well known.
Because I do have a feeling that you want to do good, but you can feel quite disempowered by all the messaging out there saying it's bad, but we still want to communicate.
Well, that's the problem. Devices, obviously, information at your fingertips. Just want people to realise that the impact of what you've got in your hand, or the TV on your thing at home, or whatever it might be, there is a whole story behind there of people mining it, producing it, and getting rid of it. So just need to think about it before you buy another one or whatever you're going to do. Could you buy second hand? Could you repair it? Or could you just not buy one?
And what about the manufacturing process as
Yeah.
well? Because obviously we worry about the factories that these gadgets are made in.
Yeah.
A lot of them are made in China.
Yes, that's right.
We fear always when we learn that there are practices which we wouldn't approve of. Is that the case?
I think, broadly speaking, there's examples of, so Foxconn being an example, we've all heard the news of suicides and the working conditions and the workers' rights is not great. I'm sure there's strives to make it better. It's probably the factories that we don't know about that are really the ones that I think are really the problem. So Foxconn being the poster child of the problem, but I would imagine there's factories out there that are not regulated or even known, or I think that could be the hidden issue here.
Adam, how can we learn more about this? Is there a website we can go to?
Yeah, so we've got if you're at the summit, please visit the stand for the 2 days. There's a lot of content on our Lush website. We're going to link off to all the groups we're working with, whether it's Fairphone, there's some recycling groups and other things. So there's a Lush website would be a good place to start. Or equally Google Fairphone, because they've done an amazing job.
I'm going to Google
talk about the story.
Fairphone. I
Yes.
had absolutely
Yes.
no idea that this modular, reusable, sort of individually upgradable phone.
Completely. And they've gone to great lengths to talk about this story, which is amazing. And us.
It really is. Thank you very much for coming and having a chat. We've both learned something.
We certainly have, and we're going to stick with phones actually, because we're
Okay.
going to invite Prue Wardorf